So welcome, everyone. I hope everyone had a nice flight or train ride or bus ride or car ride, metro ride, and so on. But yeah, just give me 1 second. Perfect. Okay, so just some logistics for everyone in the room. We'll start with the people in the room in Montreal, and then we'll head over to the people online. But yeah, so just so everyone knows, the agenda can be subject to small changes, but the majority of the things should stay in place. Um, Please check your notifications every day. So if there's any major changes or anything that you need to be informed about, I'll send an email out to everyone. So just stay informed there. And then, yeah, hopefully you have read the guidelines for the presenters, participants, and chairs and co-chairs that I have sent out, also available on the GHRSST 20 or the GHRSST website under the GHRSST 25 webpage. And then if you are connecting to the MS Teams account, please make sure that your microphone and your speakers are off, so there's no echo or anything. And then the chairs and co-chairs who will be sitting up here during the sessions, they will be help moderating the Q&A in the room. And so when you are speaking, please make sure that you speak into the microphone, because otherwise no one online can hear what we're saying. And then, yeah, I and myself and Kiara will also be helping to moderate the the Q&A online as well. And because of the time difference, we're going to try and sort of prioritize people online, just to make sure people have have time to say something. Ooh. Coffee breaks. In the morning, they will happen in front of the amphitheater here. So this is room SH2800. In the afternoons, they will happen in SH 2020. And I'm sure one of the Environment Canada colleagues or someone from UQAM can help us guide us to these rooms. But yeah, so that's where the coffee breaks are happening. Yeah, and then we have the poster sessions and icebreakers. So the poster session and icebreaker will take place on Tuesday, on June 11th, from 5 to 7 in room SH4800. So that's on the 4th floor, and you can access this room by the elevator. So if you have a poster with you, you can set this up tomorrow, anytime tomorrow. Yeah, and just make sure to have it up before the icebreaker event starts tomorrow at 5. Yeah, and then there will also be some poster sessions on Wednesday and Thursday, and those will be held in the main entrance over here. So we'll bring the posters downstairs, so no worries about moving it. There'll be a team to move everything down, and then they'll be displayed in the front hall here. Restrooms, yeah, they're on each side of SH 2020. So that I know the women's bathroom is just over there. So yeah, if you ever have any troubles finding it, just ask a colleague as well. And lunches. So lunches, we'll have an hour and a half scheduled for the lunches. There's a few places that you can go to. There's a food court nearby, which is the fastest and closest place to go if you would like. It's called Complexe des Jardins. I hope I said that right. And then there's also a cafeteria with sandwiches and coffee shop, etc. On the UQAM campus. There's also another food court or like a street market called Le Central. And then on St. Catherine Street, there's a whole load of restaurants. So we're quite central from what I hear. So I think, yeah, you can find pretty much anything around. And then the social team building event, it will take place on Wednesday from 5 to 7. 5 to 7. So this is part of the walking tour. So if you bought a ticket, then that's the first part of it. And then there were 4 lists on the registration table when you were entered. So please put your name on one of the lists. And then following the walking tour, there's also the dinner at 7:30, and that will take place at ITHQ. I have the address here. I can also send it out in an email to everyone, so you don't have to, yeah, take a picture of this. Otherwise, you are welcome to take a picture of that. Here's just a map. Yeah. Okay, so that was the in-person logistics. Any major questions that I've missed, or any information that I missed? Yes, okay. Yes. Someone was just asking if they can sign up for the walking tour, but for the online participants, you unfortunately cannot come, but next time maybe. Oh, right. So now online logistics. We'll just go through this quickly. It's sort of the same things in terms of what you should also know, that the agenda can be subject to small changes. So keep an eye on the agenda, and if there are any changes, again, we will send you an email. So keep an eye also on your email. Please also read the guidelines that we have. And for those who are connecting online, please make sure that you have your microphone and camera off during the presentations, unless you are presenting yourself. And then for the chairs and co-chairs, like I said, we will try to prioritize the people online first, so we can ensure that you are engaged in the discussion. And so Chiara and I will be online there to sort of moderate your questions that you have in the chat, but also when you would like to ask a question in plenary. So yes, I also wrote this down here. So if you have a question during the talks, you can write it in the chat, and we can bring it up in the discussion later. Also, you can raise your hand. So there's a raise hand function on Teams. It's at the very top part of the application. And yeah, we prioritize online people first. And then when you do have a question and you would, or sorry, if you are saying something, please turn on your camera and microphone when you're speaking. We'll put you up onto the screen so everyone in the room can see you, so we can have a nice hybrid experience. And we're also recording the meeting today, but we also have some of the pre-recordings from our great presenters today and post-presenters. So you can also follow along with the meeting at your own pace. And I know that some of you are staying up quite late, so hopefully you can, follow. And then, we have some social media accounts here. So I'm sure maybe some of you know that we're active on Twitter, or X, sorry, and LinkedIn. So if you take any photos or you want to, post about the meeting today or during the week, you can hashtag GHRSST25, and then, and I'll check those and I can repost things. And then, so just in terms of the whole organization here, thank you again to the people at Environment and Climate Change Canada and UCOM for hosting us here today. But in particular, thank you to Dorina, Melanie, Sergey, and many others. So that's it for our logistics here. Other than that, we can start our welcome presentation here today. So first off, we'll have Anne welcoming everyone, and then, just.
Okay, hi everybody. Welcome to GHRSST25. So this is just a few welcome slides. It's on behalf of myself and Erika and Pia. We have a fully online and in-person meeting, and thank you again to all the organisers for setting up this nice event. GHRSST kind of started out of operational weather and ocean forecasting and NWP purposes, but of course we all know that the current climate extremes and marine heat waves that we're getting, it's more and more important that we're monitoring sea surface temperature for these applications as well. So just wanted to note that. Just to highlight some new SST missions. So in the last year, we've had launches from CMA on FY3F. That's a low Earth orbit infrared mission. There's also a launch by NSOAS, HY3E, and that's again an infrared low Earth orbit. And also recently, ISRO have launched INSAT 3DS. And there's the first image there. So it's kind of exciting times, lots of new missions recently launched and lots more coming up. Coming up soon, we have the new launch from the NOAA GOES-U coming up soon. From JAXA, there's the GOES-SAT GW for microwave SST. From EUMETSAT, we have the next generation of EPS, second generation, both MET-image and hyperspectral infrared next generation instrument on that for SST. There's also the next Meteosat third generation, the first sounder mission. We have Sentinel-3C coming up in the next year or two, providing reference sea surface temperature, dual view sea surface temperature, and also the very high resolution mission Trishna is coming up soon. So it's an exciting time, lots of new missions. Yeah, and it's great to coordinate and discuss and find out more about all of these. Just wanted to highlight where we are with the GRIST Regional Global Task Sharing. So the latest version of the GRIST data specification is 2.1, and the new system architecture documents are all online on the GRIST web pages. So there are evolutions of the GDS underway. So these are coming up very soon, lots of changes in the next year, and Jean-Francois will tell us all about those later in the week. Another fairly new development has been now the publishing of the GRIST catalogue. So this is now available online. It's continually being populated. There's quite a lot of catalogues already in there, and more records are going to be added soon. So take a look if you've not had a look already. But this is a really nice kind of capability where we can really have all the GRIST specified products all together in one place. And now I'd just like to hand over to the GRIST Project Office. So you see that we have a couple of changes since last year. The GRIST Project Office is still hosted by the Danish Meteorological Institute. And we now have changes in the coordinator. So Erika is now taking over as the lead GRIST project coordinator. Chiara is still here supporting Erika in those activities. And we also now have Pia now taking over as the lead project office scientist. So really the two of them are your key people for getting in contact with on GRIST project office coordination and scientific activities. And the project office team is still supported by Jakob and Joanna and also Vivian. It's managed via EUMETSAT and it's funded by the European Union Copernicus programme. So now I'd like to hand over to Erika and Pia again.
Yes, hi everyone. I just briefly want to introduce myself. I'm Pia and I work at the Danish Meteorological Institute in the National Climate Center. And I've been around for a while. I finished my PhD last year on Arctic sea and sea ice surface temperatures. And my expertise lies mainly within microwave retrievals of sea surface temperature, but also the level 3 and level 4 generation of products and the climate perspective. Yes, thank you.
Thanks, Pia. But yeah, just to shortly introduce myself, I'm sure you've received a lot of emails from me already. But yeah, I'm Pia's colleague, so we sit together in the same department, and I'm a project manager at DMI. But yeah, so I'm really excited to have taken over the coordination role here for the GPO. But Chiara is also still my wing person, so she's supporting me in all my work. But yeah. All right, so just to give a little bit of a presentation on the overview of the GPO main activities that we carry out. So we do a few things. Yeah, so we support the GRIST science team, the tags, the task teams, etc. And we also help to organize the GRIST annual meetings, so such as this one next year, in the future years. We also organize capacity building activities. We maintain GHRSST documentation. We help to organize and support outreach activities. We maintain the GHRSST website. And then we also maintain the GHRSST social media accounts, which is what I mentioned earlier. We have the X, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And then just to dive in a little bit about what we actually do in terms of supporting the GHRSST science team and task teams as well. Here I have just a little overview of the organization. So we have GHRSST, which is led by the GHRSST International Science Team, and the GPO. As I mentioned, we support the day-to-day coordination and working of the science team, which is a group of international elected international experts, the brains of GHRSST. And then the tags, which are organized by the science team which are organized by the science team and further into task teams, which are initiated to address and work on issues and projects identified by the science team. And these task teams are fed from the user and user requirements here. And then also we have the GPO, as you can see, the GPO at the top here. So we interact with the science team back and forth. We are also an observer, and we are fed information from the GHRSST virtual constellations, as you can see on the left up there. And then we also report to and are supported and advised by the advisory council, who also advises the science team on their strategy. And so this is just a little overview of the task teams. So the GHRSST the GPO supports the tags and the task teams. So we have the 4 tags here. I've put them all up here. I don't need to read them out for you, but each tag has an associated task team sort of within this hierarchical organization here. And then we also have the science team. So the GPO also supports the science team, helping you with any coordination needs that you need, as well as managing membership within the science team. So I'm sure you also received my email about the elections or re-elections of science team members. So if you haven't sent me the Excel or the email ballot, please do by Wednesday, June 12th. So I can, have those in time. So, don't forget to do that. And the GPO, as I mentioned, also carries out capacity building activities. So we have these GHRSST Talks, which are an online series of knowledge exchange series events, where we have colleagues interested in SST and working with SST come and present any research that they may have, new ideas, discuss methods, and communicate any new results. And it's really a peer-to-peer learning experience for everyone. And we encourage people across all levels of seniority, so people who are early career scientists to gain feedback on their work, but also senior scientists to disseminate any new research results or knowledge. You can find all of the past and future GHRSST Talks on the website, and then we also post it on YouTube, so you can catch up on all the recordings there. And then we'll have some GHRSST 25 GHRSST Talks also following this meeting. Another activity that we have running in the background is this mentorship program. So we have this as a rolling admission, and this was also announced last year. And since then, there's been some changes made to this program. So essentially, the mentorship program is meant to support early career researchers who are interested in learning about sea surface temperature and the use of GHRSST formatted products, and to really build a network of these early career researchers to sort of help build the next generation of scientists. So we've reduced the eligibility. Initially, it was a 12-month program, so now it's turned into 6. And then we've also reduced the eligibility criteria from a PhD to a master's. But I think this capacity building activity is also in the hands of everyone here on the science team to help sort of reach into your networks. And if you have a student or someone who's interested in learning about SST, reach out to them and let me know so I can help you and support you in this capacity building. And then another main activity that we do, like I said, we have the annual GHRSST science team meetings and SST user symposia. So this is just an overview of all the past and also future meetings that have happened. Of course, I haven't been here for the majority of them, and maybe some of you have been here for the longest and have been to every single science team meeting. But I've highlighted the ones that will be helping to organize. So this year we're in Montreal, which is the yellow, and then next year we'll be headed over to Copenhagen, and then the following year in Japan, in Sapporo and Hokkaido. So here we go. That's today. So we have the 10th to the 14th in Montreal. Next year it will be from the 16th to the 20th of June in Copenhagen, and hosted by DMI. And then in 2026, we'll have it in Sapporo, hosted or co-hosted by Hokkaido University and JAXA. And we have the dates now also. So it will be taking place from the 22nd to the 26th of June. So make sure you save these dates in your calendar. And then, yes, we have 2 years out, so the 2027 and 2028. So yeah, if anyone is interested in hosting the next meetings, please get in touch with me. You can just come up to me and tap me on the shoulder, and I can write a little note. But yeah, that'd be great. So yeah. And then we also have some outreach activities. This is one of the last major activities that I'll just walk you through. So on the GHRSST website, we post these web stories, which you can find on the GHRSST blog. So we just posted one about marine heat waves, so just diving into the definition, drivers, and impacts. We also have a behind the scenes of monitoring the ocean with satellites. So it was part of a photo exhibition that we held in person in Barcelona. So that's also on the website there. And the UMETSAT team, Ben and Haley, provided us with some really nice imagery, as well as some stories there. So you can always explore the different outreach web stories that we have on the GHRSST website here. And then this year we also were hosting, or a little bit of last year, we also were running around the world and online for the GHRSST 25 Roadshow. So we had some GHRSST activities at different events, conferences, and workshops around. So yeah, I just listed some of them here. So we had the Ocean Best Practices Workshop held in October with Joanna. We also had a focus session with them, which Chongyuan Mao was part of. We had the Ocean Sciences meeting in February, where Jorge and then also Joanna were part of. And then, as I mentioned earlier, we had a photo exhibition and a panel discussion as part of the Ocean Decade, the UN Ocean Decade satellite event called Monitoring the Ocean, where we had science team member Cristina Gonzalez Haro present, as well as Anna Oliveira. So you can also look at the website and see some of the places that we've been to as well. And then other than that, here's another plug for some of the important links that you may want to follow. But yeah, that's it from my side. So thank you, everyone, and enjoy the meeting.
Thank you, Erika. At this point, are there any questions from anyone, either online or in the room? I haven't got set up with looking at online questions yet, so I hope someone can help me with that right now.